such an asshole.
Good morning, children. Fresh back from a hike and then hopping in the swimming hole. Cappy. They got swimming holes. They got swimming holes. They have like 4 swimming holes in the Black Hills. Like you just go out. Don't worry. I'm sure when the Californians move here, they'll regulate it away. You can't jump in the swimming hole. You might hurt yourself. No more fun. And soon there'll be nowhere for the Californians to move to because they'll have just moved every place. I mean, it all crap holes. Who knows? Maybe California will then become the nice place. Regardless, somebody writes, and I'm writing it how it's written. Since you're an economist, everybody mentions about the Great Reset, and it's talking right now about the end of the Roman Empire and its similarities to the American Empire. You mentioned long ago every empire collapses. The U.S. isn't special. Social scholars and academics don't spend much time on the poorer population or declining economical effects to societies in history. Mostly they focus on wars and on the timeline. And then that's somewhat logical because usually it was war that would collapse an empire. There's always a rival or several rivals. One of your rivals will get a little bit too strong and bump you off. What exactly do you think will happen? I assume there's a 40-year rebuilding phase as every empire has to rebuild after a collapse or a major war, World War II. What will people's lives be like after the collapse? Why are living in other 40 years? I don't know. Let's go to the question. What exactly do you think will happen? I assume there's a 40-year rebuilding phase, blah, blah. All right, so my opinion, what's kind of the history doesn't repeat, but it rhymes sort of things. Nothing is going to be exactly like the collapse of the Roman Empire or the collapse of the Ming Dynasty or the Western Roman Empire or the, what was the Muslim one? They had several, actually, the Ottoman Empire, but there were several others before that. But in this particular case, how the U.S. empire, I believe, will collapse is one of general and slow degradation. A slow cancer as the quality and caliber of the individual Americans that compose America goes down, so too will America. And if you view it more as like a cancer, a slow burning cancer, that's what I think will happen. A body is composed of cells. A society is composed of individual human beings. And as the individual human beings become cancerous, net economic parasites, and just mentally ill, I mean, that's a relatively new reality that I've didn't want to come to accept, but I looked at obviously everything through an economics lens where I'm like, it's producers or parasites. Are you a producer? Cool. Are you a parasite? No, we're not going to survive. But also now with people going well beyond like simple mere, yeah, I'm proud to be whatever Irish. You're proud to be black. You're proud to be male or female. And even I think that's a little bit stupid, but where that's your only thing. And everybody else who is an Irish, Jewish, black guy hates us and we're oppressed. And not just that mere tribalism, but people losing their damn minds. Having to pass laws saying, no, you can't groom 8-year-old children in our public schools. You can just go online and look at college kids like, wow, you are really dumb. You're really dumb. And you think you're going to change the world with more socialism. It's collapsing not only on economic productive grounds, but people aren't sane. I mean, you can, and ultimately that means we're not going to be able to interact with one another. I can't get people to show up on time. Punctuality, which isn't sexy, but somebody's I'm having a social anxiety attack. Oh, my favorite character was killed off in my comic book. I can't show up for work. That kind of stuff. So that I think as each individual cell within our society, humans, like it becomes cancerous, will slowly decay. Now, Normally, such mentally ill behavior, such parasitic, anti-production, non-self-supportation behavior would have landed the United States in trouble a long time ago. But once again, what we have is the world's reserve currency. And this is where it's going to be a little bit different. Where, and keep in mind, we're not the only spoiled ones. Everyone likes to pick on the United States. Oh, there's a lot more spoiled people in the world. Nobody wants to bite the bullet. Nobody wants to look hard. Look at Italy, look at Japan, look at all of Europe, China. About the only place would be Russia, where our economists somehow think they got the magic formula this time that we could just print off more money and borrow money, and don't worry, we owe it to ourselves. No, actually, it's the next generation that's going to pay for it. So you current people are the thieves right now, enslaving your children because you never really liked your children. Anyway, that's Japan. So what's ending up happening is kind of this race to the bottom. Have you heard metaphors like last horse in the glue factory, the hottest fat chick at a fat chick party, the smartest kid on the short bus? And as much as the United States keeps trying to cheat its way out of this, the rest of the world does this one better. China prints off more money relative to GDP. Japan prints off more bonds. Italy drinks more wine and lives at home with their moms, and then the women are very sexually frustrated or whatever. Greece says, hold my beer. We're going to elect a communist little soy boy for our president. I think it's 2 presidents ago. And we keep, imagine continuing with the hottest fat chick at a fat chick party. That would be the United States, okay? We are the world's largest economy. We have the most real amount of production. We also have the world's most powerful and largest and strongest military and all that. But we still are ugly as sin on our fundamentals. So we're like a 300-pound fat chick at the fat chick party. But all the other fat chicks at the fat chick party are 310, 320. In the case of Italy, 500. Japan, 550. All right? We're still the hottest chick. Well, the United States, we were 300. Now we're 350. And you'd think, okay, now they're going to start looking for world reserve currency that ain't the US dollar. And all the other girls gain more weight. So now China was 400 pounds. Now she was 325. Now she's 375. And Japan was 310, but now Japan is 400 pounds with a nose piercing and a tattoo. And all the fundamentals of all the other world's major global currencies get worse fundamentals. So the U.S. maintains its world reserve currency status, even though there's no way you'd lend this country money. So that it postpones our ultimate collapse, but what it really does is we're all just slowly collapsing as a global economy together. That's really what's happening. And that can go on for a long time. It could go on longer than I'm going to be alive, which I hope it does, because I like buying cheap stuff from Chinese labor. I like it that y'all foreign countries want to keep your currencies weak against the US dollar so I can buy things and enjoy an incredibly high standard of living. So it could be a real long time down the road before the US empire finally collapses. And that's in relative to other nations, but inevitably, and I think this might be the spark that causes the explosion. We're not going to have enough producers in our domestic economy. Forget China and international currency. We're just not going to have enough people to literally keep the lights on. Ranging from all these problems you see from a housing shortage to you can't fix or repair things, not only because there's not enough tradesmen, but what tradesmen exist they have no work ethic. They're now millennials and Gen Xers and Zoomers. I don't even know if there are any of you Zoomers becoming tradesmen. There's not enough truck drivers. There's not going to be enough farmers. They're just, fine, the welfare, we can print off money, printer, go burr. Here's your stimmy checks. I'm like, well, good luck. What will that stimmy check buy you? people are going to say, "Oh, there'll be a lot of inflation." Yeah, but I'm saying there won't be anything to buy. Great, you got yourself a $5,000 welfare check for you and your crotch fruit that you brought into this world by 5 different men. All right, great. Go to the grocery store. There ain't no food because we didn't have enough farmers. Because whatever, they were patriarchal or whatever. And we'll all have a bunch of intellectuals who can't produce anything, who are truly, and by intellectuals, I mean they'll claim to be intellectuals. They won't actually be intelligent. Like Noam Chomsky is a perfect example. I mean, aside from his works in computer linguistics, okay, what have you done recently? Aside from, I need more of your people's money. Like, you can die anytime now there, Noam. You can go away. But like with those people, which is what we're producing a lot of now, is a bunch of, we know better. We're going to tell you how to reallocate the perpetually dwindling amount of stuff we produce. We're going to help the children's. We're going to help the minorities. Trust me. I am a liberal white woman with a master's degree. I know what I am doing. You ain't fixing your toilet or fixing your car. That's going to be way more important. You ain't making no food. And I think that's where it's going to, and that's already coming up real quick. You're not able to maintain your homes. You're not able to build new homes. You're not able to keep water running in Las Vegas. You can't create desalination. You can't. You all can. And I think that when we're no longer able to produce the critical things we need to maintain, forget advance or progress, to maintain, that I think will be the clap. And then as long as we keep having the public schools and from a larger perspective, the Democrat parties, but predominantly the public schools, and very closely related, the colleges and universities, as well as the media, as long as they keep convincing future and successive generations of young people that they don't have to work jobs, they don't have to work, tradesmen is bad, and you're all going to save the world with your liberal arts degree. And we find out that liberal arts degrees and social science degrees don't create food. As long as you can keep those kids convinced that real work is beneath them, then we will collapse. We will. But I think it'll be a wholly internal and domestic cause and affair. I don't think it'll be, because all the other countries are just, we want to be like the United States. What, fat, lazy, and stupid? And sexless? And misandrist? Yeah, oh boy, shucks howdy, do you want to become that? And then after collapse, about 40 years, you need the hard times for it to kill off all the weak men and to purge and it's not purging, it's like taking humanity and shoving their face finally into reality of what it takes to survive. Like, no, you're not going to major in journalism. You're going to go work in the field or die. Ask Venezuelans. They are in the face. Being reality is now taking their head and shoving their faces into reality, forcing them to understand how the real world works and what is required to get a functional, productive economy up and running. Oh, but you elected the guy with the mustache who told you nice things, and now he's not giving up power, is he? Oh, now you see why we had a republic. Yeah, those old dead white people up on Mount Rushmore. What a bunch of morons. Anyway, so those would be the hard times. And 40 years sure after war, if your conquerors are kind, like the Allies were, but not if it's like a Soviet takeover. That took 70 years for people to finally realize that communism didn't work. Venezuela is on what, year 10, 15 now of socialism? They're just getting started. So the bad times are going to have like years of generations. Like the old guard, your liberal white women from the suburbs will have to be like 3 generations gone. Just gone. And all the feminist socialists and communist books and environmental, all these hobbies, all these lofty ideas that only live off of a highly productive capitalist economy. They're all going to have to die. People got to say, we don't have time to talk about what's stupid. Intersectionality. We need clean water. Right, Flint, Michigan? Right? Yeah, I know. It was the Republicans in the Senate that gave you your bad water, not decades of Democrat mismanagement. It was the evil white male Republicans in the Senate. Oh, curse their dastardly deeds. And then people are going to have enough, like they did in Russia or Soviet Union. Say we're doing our own thing, and then there will be then the strong men will come out of that, and they will bring in good times. There is a way to end that cycle. You just don't spoil your children. You have a republic. You have a net taxpayer voting system. But humans are stupid. They're going to have to relearn their lessons. So I think that's what is a slow, cancerous decay. There'll be internally our own demise, usually in critical things, starting with tradesmen and farmers. And because women have the pussy, and they'll be thoroughly convinced that socialism still works. We just haven't fine-tuned it enough. The simp vote will still vote left because they want to get the pussy. Okay, yeah, vote for Ocasio-Cortez because I want to get laid. There's no bread or water, but I really want to get death. No, by snoo. Yay! But see, the Amazonians actually had sex with the guys in Futurama. These girls are Lucy with the football. They're not going to have sex with you, Democrat boys. Have you not figured that out yet? Okay. Can I carry your mattress for you? So yeah, and then the rebuilding will, once society has had their nose shoved in it and they get around to getting rid of their overlords and their dictators, then we could start anew. But I will be long dead by that time. Long dead. What will people's lives be like after the collapse? Miserable. What will it be like? Go look at Soviet Russia. In the best of times, they had a standard of living about a quarter of the United States. More modernly, go look at Venezuela. North Korea is a bit extreme. That's cultish. So, yeah, it's communist. What else was communist? Go look at the various African countries that switched to communism. Go look at South Africa today versus, say, 10 years ago or 20 years ago, because they voted the communists and they know what they're doing. Zimbabwe, East versus West Germany. There's another. North versus South Korea. Kind of some sociological consistent comparisons there. There'll be lower standards of living. Your basics will not be met. You'll be lucky. Look at Cuba. You have rolling brownouts and blackouts. I think in the West, you'll have a particularly mentally ill and psychopathic population where everyone is just so virtue signaling, goody two shoes leftist, and so care about the environment. One good thing, women will be thinner. We're all going to go on a diet. Obesity will be cured. That's one thing socialism will cure. And then after the dark times, and people wake up, and maybe a Gorbachev comes along, and hey, and then Yeltsin comes along, and more hey. Maybe a little bit. Maybe a Deng Xiaoping comes along, and okay, we're communist in name, but here's your stuff. We'll let you kind of effectively have private property. Things will get better. And then, I don't know. There's a way to end the cycle, but I'm not paid enough to tell people how to do it. So that's it. My relatives are the type of people, they are always bored, either womanizer or after halfway for a movie, they're exhausted. I could do the same thing for 10 years and doesn't bore me. For example, I've read Curse the High IQ 4 times because I like it so much. I count it as a genetic blessing. Do you think it's genetic? Being bored? I don't think it's genetic. Well, it could be insofar as that IQ might be genetic. But but being bored, I think, would generally positively correlate with a high IQ because your brain needs to be stimulated somehow. I don't know if that's necessarily, if there's a genetic, though, cause on top of that for being bored. I guess there could be. It's kind of academic. It doesn't really matter. I mean, you're bored with most things and most people. You know, most of the people who read, by the way, if you're interested, y'all can get Curse of the High IQ. It's for smart people. Oh my God, a book written for not the idiots of America? Yeah, right here. Oh my God. Now watch, all the stupid people are going to complain. You think you're so smart, but you're not. That's what a stupid person would say. I'm sorry, you're dumb. Not you, for the audience member, the client. Yeah, I could see a general positive correlation. But there might actually be a beyond just the brain not being stimulated, there might also be a genetic thing for boredom. Like your things aren't novel for long. That has nothing to do with intelligence. But maybe I don't know. I know, like, all my family is pretty okay with patience, which is not a virtue, it's a weakness. It's like hope. Patience and hope. Oh my God. Tell me you're a dupe without telling me you're a dupe. Like, my whole family, like, I'm like, guys, are we gonna go? What's going on? Like, I mean, really, it back in the 80s and 70s was horrible. I'm like looking, I'm like, do we want to do something? Are we gonna just sit here? Sit at the dinner table and wait for everyone to finish. Hey, I got an idea. How about you guys eat faster so Aaron can go play? You're grounded. You get spanked. It's just like, oh my God. Beautiful day outside. People are taking their time. Kids are like chomping at the bit to get out. But those are my relatives, and they even to this day, I think I don't know if it's patience or laziness or lack of desire to live. I don't know what it is, but that one data point would suggest it is not genetic. Because I don't think you would. Do you have a family of spazzes? Is that possible? There's a family of the Spazzes, the new show on Fox. The Spazzes. All right, let's go to the super chat. Then I got to have dinner. If there are any super chats, and there are some. Today's super chats go to, what do my super chats go to? They just go to solar panels, really. Solar panels are expenses. Oh yeah, the Absid or something like that. Yeah, I don't know if that was Muslim. I think that was Persian, which predated any Muslim empire. Muslims, they get on the scenes till about 700 AD or so. Abyssinian? Hatton Clogs, $10. Cappy had a great time with O'Reilly's finding parts and helping with light changes. Have some money, relax. Roma Radix Omum Malorum Avatarita. By the power of love. Oh, and all the wonderful flags and signs. I don't know. Good catch to you. Well, thanks, Hatton Clogs. Hope your area of the country is doing well and not too hot. Scrolling. Zero Fun. New guy, 20 generous dollars. Thank you very much, Zero Fun. Made in China is going by the wayside, especially in the U.S. We're going for made in Mexico and be better off for it. End the World is just the beginning by Peter Zehan. Has a solid take on our situation. The guy I am hosting right now, a friend of mine, he sent me the link to that, and he recommended Peter Zehan. And hopefully that's true. I'd rather help out our neighbors than having something across it's not to, I don't want to help out the Chinese, but you're across the Pacific and your products are crap. They're just crap. Not to say Mexican products are going to be all that much better, but hopefully we won't have to rely on California longshoremen to be, licking each other's buttholes and maybe, I don't know, unloading some dock stuff every once in a while. You don't understand, bro. It was the truck driver. Shut up. Just shut up. I don't care. Nonstop Dre, $2. TFM gave the solution, take away all the welfare. Oh, that would immediately solve it. Yes. But you can't take it all away in one shot. You'd have immediate riots and we'd have to mow down a good third of the US population because they don't understand the concept of working to self-supportation. You would have to wean them off by 10%, and you're like, hey, in a decade, it's going to be gone. You get 10% less every year. All right. You're lucky you're getting anything for the next 10 years, but we're shaving it down 10% a year. We're phasing all this out. So make accommodations. But you cannot immediately cut off the welfare. People, they wouldn't have time to find a job. They wouldn't have time to get skilled up. They wouldn't have time to understand how sex works and having kids work. I'd have vasectomy and tubal ligation assembly. And hey, it's going away in 10 years. You want your vasectomies? You want your tubal ligations? Here we go. I called it tubal litigation at one time, which is totally not the same thing. Billy Bob, 7 Canadian bucks. Aaron, Americans also don't know anything about the world outside America. They think Africa is a country. Yes, I'm aware of the stupidity of Americans. I am very aware. But at least we weren't dumb enough to elect your guy as president. Joey Biden's pretty bad. I got it. Our president, Bernie Lomax. Only a few people are going to get that one. But, man, do you have the guy who I think the whole world just want to kick him in the nuts? Just what a pathetic. I remove the politics that I don't agree with him on anyway. But, man, that guy is a putz. That guy is the world's biggest pussy. I just. Oh. Ultranaut. $2. As far as empires go, America burned hot and fast. Yeah, it did last a very short time. I wonder how much is that due to technology? Because it coincided kind of with the industrial and technological revolutions. It really did go quickly, didn't it? Oh, well. We just need women leaders. If we had women leaders, they would turn it all around. We have no problems. Megan Whitmer for president. Yes. Be strong. $5. Which generation do you blame most for America's current obsession with skin color? Ooh, that's a tough one. Because the millennials are the most excited about it. I'm going to have to go with Gen X because when I was in college, the boomers are starting to get it, that diversity thing. But Gen X is fully implementing. Gen X is in charge of corporations now, all right? They're the ones making the decisions, like woke marketing. That is all Gen X. That's all Gen X business leaders. Gay pride, which is nothing wrong with, but, using that, co-opting that as a marketing thing, that's Gen X. Diversity inclusion, Gen X. Millennials just have to take it. And so millennials are like, what, dude, the thing you told? Millennials, we were lied to. Oh, my God, it's horrible. It's like, okay, you were lied to, right? Millennials, yeah, we were lied to. Okay, what are you going to do? We're going to believe what our leaders say again. The people who just lied to you about everything, you're going to believe them again, huh? Yeah. We need diversity and inclusion. Do you learn at all? How many times you got to touch a hot stove? We're going to vote Democrat, but really a lot more this time. So the millennials consume it the most, but I would say, let's just call it what it is. America's current obsession with racism. And also, let's not just throw race in there. We have to, tradeism is the overall kind, but everything, sex, gender, race, all of it. That'd be Gen X because that's the marketing. We're not selling you a good product. We're lying right to your face to sell you a crappy product. But hey, we down with the cause, yo. Malcolm X, am I right? And most people don't know that. He's a little more conservative than people would imagine. They're like, oh, yeah, here's my money. Give me your crappy product. Why does the crappy product not work? And the millennials are like, oh, I'm such a good person. So that's kind of how it is. But it's the Gen Xers. Hey, if you agree with these things, you're a good person. The millennials are like, I'm a good person. I'm a good person. The boomers are just like Sleepy Joe. Huh? I need a reverse mortgage. What do you mean the burning the buildings down? DJ Aftershock, $2 government bonds, worst performing since 1865. The price is going down that much? I haven't paid attention. I don't pay attention anymore. If you want, in addition to buying Enjoy the Decline, for those which I linked down below, for those of you who are worried about the collapsing empire, I would start with that book so that you don't lose your one life at this. Don't be miserable. Enjoy it. Please read that book. Okay. But then go ahead and subscribe to my Instagram channel. Is it a bunch of pictures of you? Yeah, usually me giving the finger, but most of the pictures are pictures of me enjoying a hike and the beautiful day we had and some streams and some mountains. And you're like, oh, that's so much nicer than looking at fat chicks with tattoos posing and saying you're beautiful. You can look at Sports Illustrated covers, or you can look at my Instagram channel. I don't know. I guess one is going to make you happier. I do want to launch kind of a Playboy thing where if we had enough good-looking chicks that want to pose in lingerie and bikinis, has to be PG-13. Like, I'd reissue it. And I did have what was his name? I forgot it. Workout guy. He's occasionally in the thing. And I am going to get back to you. But government bonds, is that bad? I didn't watch the news. I don't care. I don't own government bonds. I got crypto, though. DJ Aftershock, $5. Also, Colombia just elected a rebel to be its president. Its first socialist president government elected in the history of the country. Oh, that'll be great. I'm sure that'll be just fine. What happened to Ecuador and Peru? They elected a socialist. How'd that go? How are those global economic superpowers doing? Are we all converting to the Ecuadorian peso, or is it Bolivar? Seb Knowlton, $5. My home state of California is giving out $1,100 for inflation relief. Okay. They either haven't learned a thing or are sacrificing us all. Glad I left. I'm glad all the rich liberals of California get to pay that. Inflation relief. Oh, God. Let me go up. Hey, the Beckloff is in the house. Chris is here. Everyone tune into the back. Chris, have you started podcasting again? I know you did some podcasts. I wish you didn't delete all your previous ones. Sam Whiskey, $10. If the British had won the Revolutionary War, Cappy would be speaking proper English by now. Damn you, redcoats. I would have my Labour programmies. Yes, my Labour programmies. And then I'd sound like Troy Francis, and all the girls would like me. Kata Chan Commando, thank you for the $20. Generous. Very, very thankful for it. Hey, Cappy, 25-year-old Latino in California. How's that $1,100 going? Are you paying that or are you getting it? Just want to say thanks for all the knowledge you share. Help get my life in order and working on leaving. Thanks. Good. I'm glad to see young people are listening. Glad to see you're getting out of California. But now just so you know, Kata-chan, California does offer cheap education. All right. So get as much as the freebie education accredited, get as much as you can out of that state and then get the hell out the second you become a producer. All right. And maybe you already have your education at 25, but if they're going to subsidize your education, a legit degree, go get it in California. And then you get the hell out. The Beckloff, $5 generous. Everyone tune in. Hey, Chris, when is your book coming out, man? Pride Month is over. It's Sloth Month now. Next month is Gluttony, then Envy. After that, to be announced. How about pedophilia? Why not? And I'm pro not straight, because you got to include everyone. I just say not straight. I don't do the acronym things. But it has gone beyond. It really is like, okay, you're taking it too far now. Strutting naked in front of kids at a parade. Like, okay, you don't have a valve. You don't have a limit. Okay, we see where this is going now. Everyone's like, I can't believe they're doing it. Like, well, don't worry about it. Parents who love their children are going to take it. Oh, wait, no one loves their children in this world. We're doomed. Hat and Clogs, $5. Some have more monies. Love of money is the root of all evil. That was Latin and Rome. Roma is the acronym of the Latin version. Love and hope. Thank you, Hat and Clogs. Hope you're enjoying your summer. Just spay and neuter all people on welfare. Most humans. It is. It is. But I would rather pay them. Like here, I'm paying you all, everyone on welfare here, you're getting paid. And your children are getting paid. I'm not paying you $1,100 for inflation, but I will pay you to get a vasectomy. Hat and Clogs, $2. God, I love the 7 deadly sins. Yeah, they, as you get older, you start seeing them. They do come up very regularly. Hat and Clogs, $2. Have some more monies. What is this for again? It's for the solar panels. That's what it is, solar panels. I'm kind of done with all the projects. There really is nothing much left now. And it's just July. It's just July. So I got 2 months of summer to kind of go and enjoy. Catch up with Asshole Consulting. Pat Stedman's Polish passport, $5. See Michael Burry's recent comments on white collar workers being screwed, echoing Cappy. He's the ex-hedge fund manager from the movie The Big Short. Oh, okay. I don't, it's kind of I don't really care what happens in corporate America anymore. I really don't. I kind of said my piece. Josh Fluke is more that the expert in that field. I'm just kind of fiddling as things burn. Sam Whiskey, $5. Cap, I sent your video to my cousin who's a Dominican Republic. Doctor. Doctor, and she was offended. I'm kind of. My sister, this goes back, she's a doctor, and she's complaining about all the regulations she has to abide by to be in line with Obamacare. And I said, well, did she vote for Obama? He said, yes. I said, tell her this. Tell her she's the cause of her own problem. Now she's offended because she shot herself in her own foot. Look, lady, I didn't shoot you in your foot. You shot yourself in the foot. For once, could you maybe be the first woman and just take responsibility for your decision? Could you just say, I screwed up, I owe it? Can you do that for me? Can you just give me a little bit of hope? Huh? Can you change? Give me a little bit of hope. Being a doctor went to her head. Her husband became your fan. Sam, this is for everyone listening. And Miss Dr. Lady, if you want to listen. I am amazed at the lack. To me, is that a red garter? It is. Is this a microphone? It is. Is that a blue rubber band that is twisted? It is. Did she shoot herself in her foot? She did. Why can't you accept that? Why? You're offended by yourself? I shot myself in the foot. Man, I'm pissed off at Frank next door. Frank didn't shoot you in the foot. I know. The Perfect Mental State. I've done a video on it. You can look it up. The Perfect Mental State. I know, but this is a perfect example of the perfect mental state. It is. Look it up. Cappy, what's the perfect mental state? You have to look it up. Tell her I'm happy she's paying a lot in taxes. She went to school. There's another thing. Just one more thing. You're telling me you went to school for undergrad, grad school, medical school, which is another 4 years. Then, depending on your specialty, at least 3 to 8 years of residency. You went to school for like a dozen, if not plus years to become a doctor, only to vote to take half of it away. Hey, guys, this is the rich part. And she thinks her money's going to help all the poor people. We spent $50 trillion on poor people. They're still poor. We've given, if you want a case study, go look at the American Indian reservation where it's free everything. Oh my God, it's a nightmare. But your half your income is taken away. And that affects you a lot. But it isn't even a urine fart compared to the trillions of dollars we spend on poor people. And you think your little money's going to make it. Ooh. You're a slave. You're a slave to the poor people that you thought you're going to help, who, by the way, hate you. They hate you. Oh, God, that's great. You wasted all your youth getting a doctor to be a slave for half your life. And you voted for it. Oh, man. Sweetheart, thank you for making my day. I enjoy watching people like that. Can I buy you more bullets and guns for you to shoot more things into your feet? Oh my God. Oh, that's great. That's great. Oh, okay. Are we catching up? I think we're caught up. The Blue Wrench is in the house. Sam Whiskey, $2. Where's Higgins and Rick? I don't know. They're probably with TC and Magnum. All right, that's it. Book link below. Enjoy the decline if you're worried about societal collapse. I'm out of here. I'm going to have some barbecue. I'm going to have some grilled brats. I'm going to have some grilled brats. And then I'm going to chill out. And I'm going to have a cigar. And I'm going to think about how I didn't go to school for 12 plus years. College, I mean. And $300,000 in debt. And wasted my entire youth. Only to vote purposely to have half my money taken away. Hat Clogs, $5. It's all a cult, Cappy. They program all the doctors in the education system, man. They think the same and act the same. Just be free, man. Yeah, I could see that. I'm a doctor. I would have saved the world. Well, socialism didn't save nothing. Matter of fact, it's killed the most people outside of war. And matter of fact, including war. That's all right. All right, see you guys later, Toodles.